Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Pinky Kwanisheni. I would like to welcome you all back and I hope you are going to enjoy this video. So I was doing a little bit of cleaning, guys. There was really not much that I did today, but I thought to myself, let me come here and share some details, something small that happened last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So there was a time, guys, where I was looking for an escape from the job that I was doing, from the company that I was working for. It was too much for me to bear. Yet again, another company that was just not it. It was too much. So I started a business while I was still in that company. I started a business and I started a transport business. Firstly, my idea was to do an Uber. So I used to drive a Polo. So from driving a Polo, I was like, you know what, if I can convert this Polo into an Uber, I think that would be something. So that was my first idea. Like, as you grow up, you are thinking of ideas. You're thinking, what can you do, for some extra cash. So I bought a smaller car. No, I didn't buy a smaller car. There was a money that I had. So with the money that I had, I bought a small car, which was a Chevrolet Spark. I bought it for cash. I am still working at this time. I bought it for cash just to do the Uber business. So, okay, I bought the car is here and everything, then I start looking for a driver to drive that car. So I get a driver, then you start doing business, which it was not easy. It was not cool because the driver was not cool. He scratched my car. Not just a small scratch, a big scratch on the back, which was so painful to see. Lord, the things that happened. So I went ahead with that driver. Fine, we move on. He paid me every week, so I had money every week. And then I thought of something else as well, because I knew that money was not enough for me to leave my job. I still needed more. So as I'm working in this toxic environment, it's becoming so toxic each and every day. So what I decide to do, I change my car from a Polo to a bigger car. I'm thinking, you know what, I think I'm gonna do school transport. I'm like, this is something that I can do. I work from home. I can use, in the morning I take kids to the school. In the afternoon I go during my lunchtime. I pick up kids from school. Okay, that has been the thing about me. If I want to do something, I go ahead. I don't waste time. I do it now. Worry about the consequences later on. so I went and bought the car. After I bought the car, I start with the business. I start advertising myself. Parents, they fall in love with me because what? It's a woman, I'm a woman. I'm going to take good care of their kids. So I started in the complex where I was in. It was so easier for me because in that complex there was no transport. So that is where I started in that complex. Good, I got the kids. Now everything is working according to plan. So I decide, you know what, as I'm doing this, it's becoming too difficult at work, focusing on two things happening in my life. It's not easy now. The pressure also is mounting. Don't know whether now the business was contributing, but it was just even worse. I could not take that pressure. It was just so tough, and then I ended up resigning. I ended up resigning. So the time I am resigning from this job, I have my transport business, I have my school kids, taking their kids to school, and then I also have the small car, that is on Uber. It's giving me problems now because the guy is not paying on time. He's coming up with excuses every week. His excuses. He didn't get enough. He didn't get the clients. Oh my God, so stressful. It was bad. It was becoming bad. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if I wanna do this. I don't know if I wanna do this anymore. I take the car from the guy because, in fact, he brought it back because he could not afford it. He just could not afford. So now I'm traumatized by this Uber business. I'm like, okay, it's quick cash, but I guess it's gonna depend on the person that you find. I'm like, you know what, let me try something else. I decide to use this car for rental. For rental, I rent it out to people, you know. I do my research. I rent it out to people, and then somebody came this one day. They came to take the car. So when they took the car, of course, we got their papers, their IDs, and all of that. Then they looked trustworthy. It was a guy and the woman. So it was a guy and a woman, but the guy did not register himself. In fact, he used the details of the woman. So we took those details of the woman. So after doing that, so at that time, I was not doing this by myself. I had a boyfriend. So my boyfriend was helping me out because, child, I was not going to be able to do all of that by myself. So, okay, we start this thing, but I'm so skeptical now about this rental. You know, how safe is this? How sure am I about this? Because the car does not only move here in Gauteng, it can even go outside of Gauteng, you know. But I have a tracker. I can track all of these cars. Okay, that is done. The guy took the car. He took the car longer than I anticipated, but he was paying every week, but he took it longer than I anticipated. It was not fun anymore now because he was extending and extending. It was good that it was extending, but I felt like there was no control whatsoever. I wasn't able to control it, you know, effectively now at this point. Guess what the guy does with the car? He sells it, guys. He goes and sells the car. Because now I am calling, like, please return the car. Why are you not returning the car? The guy is not returning the car anymore. I tracked the car. We went to where the car was, which it was in Tembisa. We went and fetched the car. When we got there, somebody else is driving the car. Somebody is at a chilling, having fun with his jans. And I'm like, okay, then we see the car. Then we're like, hey, we're here to fetch the car. This is my car. The guy is so confused. You're like, what? And then the guy comes in the car and tells us, what do you mean this is your car? This is my car. The guy's like, I bought this car from this guy. Oh, we're like, what? This is my car. This is not your car. And the guy's like, no, I bought this car from this guy. His name is blah, blah, blah. He showed us this paper. Like, what? At that time, I was not carrying the papers of the car because I did not think anything like that was happening. We had to go back. I had to go back home. You know, I had to go back home and fetch the papers of the car and go there the following day. You know, we trusted that guy to keep that car because now he was worried about his money. But I paid this guy half of the money. I paid him half of them. Now I need my money back, or I need this guy to be, you know, to be arrested or something. We're like, yo, this is such a long story. I am so frustrated at this point. I am not even willing to listen to this guy because I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be listening to you, bro. I am running a business and I'm here to fetch my car. What whatever arrangement you made with that guy, it has nothing to do with me. So this guy's shame, he's so, he was so stressed, so worried that he ended up, he said, he showed us his house in Tembisa. We drove to his house so that he can show us that he has a family, he has kids, he's reliable, he stays here full time, they just want his money back. So it turned out that the guy bought the car from the woman of this guy, not from the guy, so the guy was not there. Hey Lord. So we trusted this guy. I said, okay, we're gonna come back tomorrow. Then we went home. Then I'm like, yo, what a nightmare. It was such a nightmare for me, because now I'm like, what is happening? I fetched my papers. I went to the police station, because as I'm driving back, I am thinking, man, why am I listening to this guy? This has nothing to do. Why am I feeling pity for him? It has nothing to do with me. This is somebody that lives in Tembisa. I know nothing about him. For all I know, he could be lying. I went home, I took the papers, I went to the police station. It was just the worst weekend of my life. I'm telling you, the things that I've been through in life. Yo, guys, this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning of what I've been through, but this is one of them. So I leave this, I take my papers, I go to the police station, I report. Police station in Alberton, which was closer to where I used to stay. Then the guy there, the police station, told me that we need to go to a police station that is in Tembisa, where the car is. Then the following day in the morning, I was there in Tembisa. We went to the police station. We're like, yay, this is the story. We need a car back. Hey, the police officer came. Yo, that police officer. Yeah. It's like he was shouting at me. What are you doing with this car? What is this guy doing? How much is he paying you every week? We don't even know what this guy is doing with this car. What has he been doing? What if it's a stolen car? What if it's a wanted car? There are so many scabangers outside. What if this is a wanted person or a wanted car? He might have done something wherever, killed somebody. You don't just give a person your car just like that. I was like, yo, hey, you know what? You're making sense, my brother. But I did not think about this at all at that time. Wanted to make money, So we go with the officers. We go with the police. We go to that guy's house. We see the car is still there. Oh, the guy was so shocked to see the police, because he thought we had an arrangement. He was gonna call that guy the following day and tell that guy to come and take the rest of the money so that they can, whatever. But I was like, I don't want to listen to this story anymore. I just want to come and get this car and be gone. So I get the car. So we get inside the car with the police. The police, they explained the story to these guys, and they said, we are here to take the car. The woman has the papers. The car belongs to her. If you don't believe, where are your papers that you said the guy gave you? The guy comes with the papers. You can see that they are fraud papers that this guy created. Oh God. So so the police now, they went to, I don't know what they call that thing where they have to verify who the owner is. The other person on the other side verifies who the car is registered to. So the guy could hear, they told him that the guy is registered under Pinky Kwanisheni and stuff. Right, so we took the car. Hey, we left that family so broken. They could not believe it, because you can see what even their conditions, the way that they are living, they are trying. This was their first car, and this happened. I think the guy took something like, he was selling it for 40,000, but he had 20,000. They gave him 20,000. Then he was gonna come back for another 20,000, but he did not come back. And yeah, they called him while we were there, but it's like the guy was skeptical. You know what, this doesn't sound good. He never came. He never went there. And when I took the car, I took it home, you know, I looked at it, I looked inside of the car, you know, quick cabin hold, you can see a booklet. It was more like small booklet about guns, how to operate a gun. You can see screwdrivers, you can see knives. Yo, like you can see what something is not good. This guy is scamming. He's scamming people, and he is a thief. You know, he's one of those people that are just doing all these funny businesses outside here. I wouldn't be surprised if he kills even, you know. So that was just the story of that car, guys. You know, that was not the plan. The plan in this video was for me to talk about how I owned 3 cars, how I was, you know, how I was making decision of starting this business to another. But there were just so many obstacles. Each and every part of it, it had so many obstacles. Even the car that I changed with Ipolo had so many obstacles, challenges with the drivers. And after I had a Polo, how also I went back and returned a Chevrolet Spark and got a minibus because I wanted to just focus on the school transport. I had that minibus for, I think, for only a year, if I'm not mistaken. But it was also a nightmare because it was a second hand. It was a very old minibus. It was it was not even a second hand. It was something fifth hand or whatever. That car was a problem. It drove me nuts. It drove the driver of it nuts because it was completely breaking all the time. There was no water. There was something leaking. There was always an issue with that car. It used to chow petrol like nobody's business. I was now making a loss instead of a profit because of this nightmarish of a car. Who knew? I did not know what to look for in a car. I did not know what a second car could do. But that one, child, I knew exactly what it did to me. So that was me now owning a third car. This was my third car in a row. But I ended up leaving my job and I was operating with with these cars, taking them back, returning them, buying and returning, and having all these trackers in these cars. It was just a disaster. It was a disaster. But look at where I am today with only one car. After all of that struggle, after all of that, after all of that I went through. But this is just my story about how I ended up with so many cars, how I made terrible financial decisions, how one can really, you can get over, how do I put this? It's very easy to get carried away, when you have some cash or when you have some money that you just want to invest in something. You want to start a business, but you have not done your research yet. You don't know how to manage your own funds. You don't know how to manage your own salary, but you want to manage a business. And with the only cash that you have, you want to invest in that business, and then it goes into flames. So for me, it was more of a learning experience, and I learned the hard way. I definitely learned the hard way. So when I was doing the cleaning this morning, I was just reminded of that story. I was like, Lord, I cannot believe that I once owned 3 cars. I once owned so many cars. I owned a Polo. From a Polo, I owned a Chevrolet Spark. From a Chevrolet Spark, I owned a minibus. From a minibus, I'm owning this car that I'm owning. It's not even 3 cars, it's like 4 cars. It's 4 cars that all of them, they had a tracker. Mind you, they all had a tracker. And when you have to cancel that tracker, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare because there are fees involved. There are fees involved in all of that if you had not finished paying them off. So I had to go through that nightmare as well. So it was a learning experience. It was a tough one. It was a tough one, but I thank God every day that I went through that, because I would not be in this position that I am in today. I'm happy I went through that experience. I needed to go through that experience, you know. So that is why I'm sharing my story. I'm sharing with you guys that you need to be on the lookout, you know. It can be really exciting when you get to the job. It can be really exciting when you get to into when you get to be, you know, get to enjoy a job space, when you start owning or when you start earning your salary and earning money, you know, you start to think ahead, you start to think about things to start businesses, you know. You will fail at some point. There will be some things that are going to happen in the process, but it is all a learning process. But what I'm saying, Guti, you need to be on the lookout for anything that you want to start. You might have to lose first, you know, you might lose, but maybe don't make the same mistake that I did. Don't get carried away. You need to do your extensive research, and you need to have a solid reason why you want to start something. Solid reason why you want to start that, you know, and work towards that. Ask for information before you begin anything. Ask for information from people who are business owners, people who have been there, people who knows. I mean, I had my uncle who runs businesses, but I did not ask him before I could start something. I asked him in the middle of it, and I would only share certain information. Other information I withhold from him because I'm like, what? He ain't gonna like that. So I would choose what to share with him. So hence it didn't work out. Hence I went through all of that, and he still doesn't know what I went through. So I just wanted to share just this piece of information, just, you know, to have somebody out there. But guys, be on the lookout for these you know, for these scammers. Be on the lookout, you know, on especially the type of business that you want to start. You know, I was in the, I think it's male dominated one, transportation and stuff. I did not seek help. I did not, you know, I did not do my research properly. But it is a learning experience, and I hope that you guys are gonna learn from this, and you will take it easy. Take it easy, don't rush into things. So until next time, guys, I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. I hope you're going to be inspired. Please take good care of yourself until I see you in my next video. Bye.